Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the elect sincere Akim out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Alright, this video is going to be called Got Milk, because I'm going to be going into the necessities of the basic scriptures. Alright, and in the scriptures, the scriptures refer to the basics as milk, and the deep part and hard to understand scriptures, meat. Alright, and I'm going to start by reading Hebrews 5 verse 12. Alright, it says, For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk, and not of strong meat. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness. And that word unskillful is like not having experience. For he is a babe, because the scriptures talk about being born again, becoming like a child to learn. You shut up and listen. You forget everything that you thought you knew in the world, and you just listen to the prophets. They explain to you the milk scriptures, and really the basic scriptures are very edifying. Scriptures like who the Bible is for, first and foremost. That's a deep revelation. Is that the Bible is only dealing with Israelites. The Bible is only for Israelites. That's very basic, but it's also very deep, because we've as a nation, we've forgotten our heritage. Israel has forgotten their heritage. And we've been grown up in lies, man. So I mean, if you're looking for more fruits in your camp, you gotta constantly bring out the milk scriptures, alright? Because you can't expect to just be really deep and expect brothers to come up into this thing. Matter of fact, that's 1 Corinthians, because we know, my few. I don't even know if it's plural yet, but a year, almost 2 years in this truth. Hey, I've seen people get puffed up by this knowledge, and they try to get deep and try to attract people that way, and then they burn out, man, because they choke on it, because they get rebuked by a great millstone, because they try to lean on their own understanding. But this is 1 Corinthians 8 and 1. Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. And if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know. Because people choke on or they get puffed up. I shouldn't say choke. They get puffed up on knowing that they're an Israelite. Look at IUIC. There's a bunch of those people. Recently there's a young Jake, about my age, come up to camp, thinking that he was going to tell us something, that that he was an Israelite and the brothers with me were Israelites, but I wasn't. Because he must have heard the breakdown of Jacob and Esau, which he was right that so-called white people are Esau. But he didn't understand the milk scriptures about how the confusion of faith doctrine. That's a simple breakdown, and it's milk, because you can teach it, but he was puffed up on that. So it's very important to be humble, man. Just to be humble. Let's see. I'm gonna get let's get Isaiah. Because this truth is simple, but it's not easy, you know? Because it's a stumbling block to a lot of people, but it's very simple. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. And that word stammering of lip is meaning like repetitive. Because you know, like when somebody stutters, they might say the same word over and over. Well, that's how Great Millstone teaches these scriptures. We're constantly telling you that the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true children of the Most High, and they're really known as Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel in the Bible. All right, and they break it down over and over and over, and they break down the confusion of faith doctrine over and over and over, and they constantly go into the prophecies over and over and over, and it sounds really repetitive, but that's how you gain wisdom and knowledge. You know, that's how brothers that are 3 months into this thing are quoting a lot of, they can go through the scriptures like that. Is because it's been drilled into their mind, because they've been listening, they've humbled themselves down, and they heard these milk scriptures over and over and over, you know? And the water Yahbashim Yahshai, that I'm able to do that by the spirit and power of Yahbashim Yahshai, not by me. Lest any man think that he knoweth something, he knoweth nothing, man. Because I've heard the elder of GMS Mississippi, he said that the Apostle Ariam Lab told him that, hey, there's so much stuff that he doesn't even know, you know? And he's dealt with the Most High on a grand level, man. He's got experience in this thing. But that's just a humble spirit that you have to have, man. And that's the Apostle Ariam Lab showing a humble spirit and showing a good example of how you ought to be in this thing. Cause and another thing too, we had camp on January 1st to kick off the year of Karagma, right? And that one of the things that we went into was very basic, Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, right? Because the brother Ayash from the Mississippi camp, he was with us, and the Spirit hopped on him to ask a dude that was walking by directly. He said, you know, you're an Israelite? And he was just kind of, he looked lost. Like he looked like it wasn't like the question wasn't registering with him. He's like, are you, like, do you know about, you know, the Bible, the Hebrew Israelites? He goes, do you know you're one? And he's like, no. And then we went straight to Deuteronomy 28th chapter. We broke down the curses. You know, we broke down that the Bible is only for Israelites. We broke down who the so-called white man was. You know, Esau, Edom. You know. And it's funny because they never bucked up when we brought that out, that Jacob and Esau, you know, so-called black people versus so-called white people. And I was standing there, but they didn't buck up because I think the brother mentioned it like once, but we didn't really go into it because we were just trying to deal that they're Israelites, that they should, and that, you know, we've been cast away from our heritage, you know. Man, that's a beautiful... That's a beautiful milk topic. You know, I might do a video on that. But this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? So that's what's required of us. You know, you get a revelation, you think you get a deep revelation like that, hey, break it down. And if you can't, then don't try to, wing it or anything. If you don't fully understand something, humble yourself, swallow your fucking pride and ask a brother what it means. If he doesn't know what it means, then he'll probably he'll fall in order and go up to the brother higher ranking in your camp. Or hit, if you're not in a camp and you don't know anything, type a question on the comment board on a brother's page. What does this mean? Or on a live show. I've seen Ariam Lab start answering questions on the live show. And he had to change the title of the video because he had a topic on mine, but a brother was asking about, I think he was like Korean or something, and the guy asked like about GMS because he's been watching the Hebrew Israelites, black Hebrew Israelites, but he's just recently started watching GMS because he's noticed that there's like white people in there, or so-called white people. They're confusion face Israelites, and he just changed the whole live stream and just went in on how there's Israelite foreigners, just for that one brother, man. And that's what it's about, man. We're not trying to look deep for the masses of people. We're trying to break this truth down vividly so that the elect can come into this thing and wake up to who we are as a people, man. But with that, I hope this video was edifying. Shalom.